Good morning, Valley Christian. I'm Trent Vanderwall, and this is VCTV.
Junior service hours. This Saturday at 6 a.m., make sure to go to Calvary Baptist Church in Bellflower, and you can sign up in Junior Hall, and then you can get your service hours completed. And if you can't do that, check the list in the hallway and make sure to bring some items in a Ziploc bag and bring them to Mrs. Cortez. Thanksgiving food drive. Please bring canned and dry food items to your first period class, and the class that brings the most gets a special prize. Cross country, make sure to bring your maroon jerseys to Mr. Bexford in person so he can check your name off of the list. Triathlon Club. The world's biggest triathlon takes place on the base in Los Alamitos every February. And for more information, you can go to HH43 every Wednesday at lunch. And remember, anyone can sign up. Warm winter drive. The last day will be today, and there will be no longer accepting any warm winter clothing, so make sure you go out and put some clothes in that bin. First round of CIF is this Friday at 7. We are number 1 ranking in CIF, so make sure to bring some money for the tickets because you cannot get in for free. UCLA will be in the College and Career Center today. Clash Club, you will have a meeting in Mr. Edlund's room this upcoming Monday. And Star Wars Club, you have a meeting today in room 49, and you guys will be continuing episode 1, Phantom Menace. And boys soccer tryouts, you have a Monday and Wednesday. Make sure to ask Mr. Chan if you have any questions, and you will be meeting at the middle school. And those are your morning announcements. Here are a few interviews about the Cubs winning the World Series.
When and how long have you each been Cubs fans?
I've been a Cubs fan my whole life, ever since I can remember.
In '84 was one of the years they won the division, so we became big fans that year. And I'd say probably for the next 10 to 12 years, I was a huge Cubs fan. Still a fan, but not as devout as these guys.
Yeah, I don't know anything else but Cubs. My grandma loved the Cubs, and when we go on family vacation in Chicago, we're going to Cubs games, so I don't know anything else other than that.
What makes a Cubs fan different than any other baseball fan?
Loyalty. I think you need lots and lots of loyalty. I think a lot of people like to jump ship from team to team based on who's hot or who's attractive. I think that's why Cubs fans tend to stick together and stick around. It's just that kind of loyalty sort of aspect.
I think it's been kind of a generational franchise loyalty as well.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Mr. T?
For me, I'd say it's a way of life. And when I say way, it's with a capital W, just like the flag. It's a way of life. And always the idea is this is the year, man. And actually 2016 was the year.
Going into and even after this historic regular season, what did you expect from this team? Did you expect them going all the way?
I expected them to be really good based on what they had coming back from the season before and going to the playoffs. But I think part of being a Cubs fan, you expect something really crappy to happen. Like you're just waiting for it all to go wrong. Even in that 7th game against Cleveland, like what's going to happen now? Oh no, here we go again. Like it's hard to be real optimistic, I suppose.
it was interesting too because there was probably about 2 or 3 times during the postseason you're kind of going, man, they are on the verge of being in big trouble. And so they always came through, which is different than past years.
I would say the answer is different when I'm talking to other people than it is when I'm talking with Cubs fans.
Yeah.
So I'm talking with other people, this is the year, man. I truly believe it. But then when I'm talking with fellow Cubs fans, it's like, okay, what's going to go wrong? Right? When are the wheels going to fall off?
And again, I think that's something, I feel like it was a real tight-knit group. I think Joe Madden was a big part of that culture. So I think he's not the guy who's going to go in and be yelling and screaming, when things are bad. I think the more tense the situation, the more calm he was, and I think his personality had a lot to do with it.
5 million people came to that parade this past weekend. Chicago only has 3 million residents. What does that mean? How does that describe the fan base for the Chicago Cubs?
Honestly, like for myself, like WGN, they were a national team too. And I think like Wrigley Field and the whole mystique of that made it a lot bigger than just the Chicago thing. It made it much bigger. So like that's why you had this amazing turnout.
That scenario happens throughout all of Illinois and Iowa and all over the place where these little kids are asking their dads, who's the best team to cheer for? the Cubs. So it's just passed on from generation to generation.
Yeah, and I think the gratitude is directly proportional to the sin and misery that was suffered for 108 years. I think you had a starving fan base and one that was filled with gratitude when it finally got fed.
Why are you so passionate? Why have you had a passion for the Cubs? What is, in one sentence, the response you would give them?
In one word for me, it's loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Underdog. I love the underdog. I just do. Always have.
Yeah, again, I'm not putting myself in the category of these two guys as far as passion, but I think the same thing, kind of loyalty. I mean, I love a good story. I mean, the Cubs are a good story, and I have been a fan of theirs. I feel like they're kind of been my National League team.
And I don't know any different. It's like, what else would I do?
Yeah.
You know, it's like you just root for the Cubs. It's just, like I said, it's just in your DNA. Like somebody asked me, what if they had lost this year? Would you have given up on the Cubs? It's like, that's never even an option.
This was the year that the Cubs have been waiting for. What's in store for next year and the years to come for the Chicago Cubs?
I think one thing I learned through this year is it is really difficult to win the World Series. Even if you have the best team on paper, it's really difficult, and some things just have to fall into place. We saw the Red Sox break the curse and then win 2 World Series, and they became kind of obnoxious fans. And I don't want to become obnoxious, you know. So I just want to be a gracious winner. And opening day next year, we'll look forward to a great year. And I mean, yeah, this is going to be really good, but who knows, man?
That's why sports are fun, because you don't know, because it is that hard, because everything does have to go right, and that's what I look forward to.
On behalf of the whole VCTV crew, have a great day.
They're saying